Hey, One Plus Armor fans, we're here with a special guest battle report. I'm down in Vermont this week, so we've got John Chastanet.
Hey!
You may remember him from one of our battle reports last year from Capital City Bloodbath. We've got a rematch after my humiliating defeat against him in Capital City Bloodbath. We've got his Wood Elves up against my vampire counts. So John, walk us through your list real quick.
Alright, so I got some cheese, and some more cheese.
Yeah, this is the most broken Wood Elf list imaginable.
Totally broken. The most broken thing ever. The general in my army is Durthu, leading the army. I have a Eagle. I have a unit of 37 Eternal Guard with full command and the Banner of Eternal Flame. Within the unit, I'm hosting 2 level 3 Dark Spellweavers, so the Lore Dark Magic, and a level 4 on the Lore Life, who has Obsidian Lodestone and Dispel Scroll, and something else I don't know.
I'm sure it'll matter at some point.
I don't think it matters. Alright, then I have 10 Glade Guard with True Flight Arrows and a Musician, 8 Deepwood Scouts with True Flight Arrows, and 7 Deepwood Scouts with True Flight Arrows.
Alright.
Then I have 9 Wild Riders with Shields and the Banner of Swiftness.
Speedy guys. And what do you have for spells?
For spells today, on my level 4 Life Mage, I have the Throne of Vines, Earthblood, Shield of Thorns, and Dwellers Below.
Dwellers, yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay, on my 2 level 3s, I decided to take the signature on both of the 2 signatures on both of them. So I have Doombolt and Power of Darkness on both of the level 3 mages. One level 3 mage has Blade Wind, and the other has Word of Pain.
All right. Excellent. On my side of the table, we've got 2 units of 5 Direwolves with champions. It'll matter. 2 units of 20 zombies with Banner and Musician. A Terrorgeist, 11 Black Knights, a Necromancer with a Dispel Scroll. No, he has Scroll of Shielding, the Obsidian Amulet, and Iron Curse Icon. A level 1 Necromancer, this guy, level 1 Vampire, this guy right here. He has the Dispel Scroll, Dragon Helm, and Talisman of Protection. My White King BSB with Night Shroud and Seed of Rebirth. And then my Vampire Lord, level 4 on Vampires with Other Trickster Shard, Ogre Blade, and Talisman of Preservation. We have 3 Spirit Hosts and 37 Ghouls. So, with that, we've already done Vanguards. My Wolves just moved up here. The Scouts actually deployed within John's deployment zone. Oh, and I suppose we should go over spells quickly for my side. My level 4 has Van Hell's Dance, Gaze of Nagash, Raise Dead, Invocation, and then the 2 level 1s both taking the signature spell, Invocation to Heck. So, with that, we just got our roll off here. So, we are enjoying a few craft beers here, so we'll do our cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. And then let's get our roll off. John has the +1. See who's going first. All right, John's got first turn. We'll be back if you want to go first, right? You want to go first. All right, we'll be back at the end of Wood Elves turn 1. Okay, we're here at the end of Wood Elves turn 1. John, you want to give us a quick walkthrough of what happened here?
Pushed some stuff forward, so Durthu and the Eternal Guard advanced. The Eternal Guard are in the Venom Thicket that's deployed in my side of the table. The rest of the stuff basically held back to shoot, and the Wild Riders held back to potentially countercharge if Logan advances. So, and during the magic phase, I was able to get Throne of Vines and Earthblood off on the Eternal Guard. So I'm hoping to dissuade him from trying to damage the Eternal Guard or charge head-on to the Eternal Guard this turn. Shooting, we were able to get 1 wound on a Spirit Host over on Logan's right flank. And subsequently, the other shooters were able to destroy 1 Spirit Host who was deployed between the zombies and the Black Knights. Some other shots were put at the Direwolves on Logan's far left flank, and 2 Direwolves died again.
Died again. Yeah, it's true. They did die again. All right. So with that, we're into Vampires 1. Here at the end of Vampires turn 1, quick note to begin with, because I'm sure someone had some questions around it. We are playing ETC rules for this, so we're both using ETC comp for our army lists as well as for magic phase and everything else. So with that, the Terrorgeist being behind this hill turn 1 was actually at a line of sight of everything in John's army. So with that, he was able to march over here, fly up and scream at some of the Wild Riders there. Just moved some dogs up to try to redirect if they want to charge. Moved zombies up a little bit, moved dogs up again just to redirect. I think I actually need to bump a tiny bit away from this. There we go. Moved my bus up, zombies marched up. Ghouls, I don't think I even moved, but that's fine. And then my spirit host just came over here to try to give Durthu an exciting target because he's totally going to take the bait. Magic phase, again, pure skill, 5 dice, Gaze of Nagash, managed to kill 3 of the Wild Riders, I believe. 2 of the Wild Riders.
Just 2.
Yep, and that was all my dice. And then shooting phase, the Terror guys managed to scream off another 3. So with that, we're going into Wood Elves turn 2. All right, we're here at the end of Wood Elves turn 2. John, give us a quick recap here.
All right, so the Eternal Guard adjusted their placing in the Venom Thicket a little bit in order to line up the BSB, who has the Hail of Doom arrow, to potentially shoot the Terrorgeist. Durthu advanced towards the ghouls and the spirit hosts. The shooting elements of my army lined up to go ahead and shoot the Terrorgeist. During the magic phase, I was able to, Logan was able to shut down all the spells except Earthblood. Throne of Vines was still in play from the previous turn, so the Eternal Guard are still in the Venom Thicket with a 4+ regeneration. During the shooting phase, Durthu was able to put 2 wounds from his Lamentation and Despairs onto the already wounded Spirit Host from the previous turn. On my right flank, all of my shots plus the Hail of Doom arrow managed to do 1 wound on the Terrorgeist.
Like a boss.
During the close combat phase, the only combat we had was the Wild Riders against the Dire Wolves. As you can imagine, the Dire Wolves unfortunately did not hold, and the Wild Riders were able to destroy the 3 remaining Dire Wolves.
Imagine that.
Imagine that.
All right, so with that, we're into Vampires turn 2. All right, we're here at the end of Vampires 2. Just moved everything up a little bit. Zombies moved up to an inch away from those guys. Terrorgeist flew up to the corner of the table there. Dogs and zombies moved up to try to keep the Eternal Guard at bay. Night Bus moved up a little bit. Ghouls charged Durthu, and my 2 spirit hosts moved up a tiny bit as well. For the magic phase, got pretty hot. It was 9 dice against 5 or 6. Got Van Hells off on this unit. I put the wrong card there, but they have Van Hells. I also got Raised Dead off over here, so now there are 2 units of zombies, and John's stuck charging this one, which will take him off the table on an overrun, possibly, or at least give me a flank charge. What else did we get for magic? I think that was it. Yep, that was it. Rest got dispelled. It was an invocation that got dispelled. Oh, that's right. We got a Gaze Nagash off. Killed 5 of the
10.
5 of the 10 Glade Guard. That's what I was thinking of. Yep. They passed their panic though on reroll. Over here in the shooting, the Terror guys took off Ian of the Deepwood Scouts with exactly enough wounds, causing 7 with 7 models there. For combat, the ghouls did a single wound to Durthu and took 7 in response. So lost a couple extra ghouls there, but they're holding him up. And with that, we're going into Wood Elves turn 3. We have some Jurassic Park and also the end of Wood Elves turn 3. What happened here, John?
All right. I do not believe I had any charges this turn. My Wild Riders, who were near the zombies, decided to get out of there. They made their frenzy check, so they decided not to charge, and they skedaddled to behind the Terrorgeist. Meanwhile, my Eagle, who was being held back, moved forward to block the Dire Wolves, who were in front of the Eternal Guard in the Venom Thicket. My archers swift reformed and moved towards a Spirit Host who was over here.
They already kind of moved right.
And my other archers, Deepwood Scouts, moved over here to also shoot the Spirit Host. As you can probably guess, did not survive the turn. Durthu continued his combat against the ghouls. During the magic phase, it began with a very promising magic phase. I believe I had 10 power dice to start the turn.
Yep.
I threw 5 dice, as we're under ETC, at Dwellers Below on the bus, the night bus. I rolled a 6 and 4 ones and failed to meet the casting value for Dwellers at short range.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Well, yes, I know.
Yeah.
So the rest of the magic phase was shut down subsequently because of that. Throne of Vines is don't play. During the shooting, the 2 archer units were able to destroy their lone remaining spirit host on this flank. And during close combat, Durthu fluffed his attacks, was able to do no wounds against the ghouls, but was able to do enough thunderstomps to not lose combat.
All right, so with that, we're going into Vampires 3. Bottom of 3, Vampires turn. Terrorgeist screamed off the Wild Riders with another really hot roll. Getting lucky on my dice there, which is fortunate for me. Bus moved up. I summoned 10 more zombies into that unit. My ghouls managed to reform the end of last turn. We didn't catch that on camera, but they went just into normal ranks. Durthu did not flub his rolls this turn though. I did no wounds. He did 9?
7 wounds.
7 wounds, that's right. So I lost a whole ton of ghouls. Other than that, that's pretty much all that happened. So we're moving pretty fast, and we're going into Wood Elves turn 4.
Alright, so we're at the Wood Elves bottom of turn 4. During this turn, we did not have any charges. My Eternal Guard stayed in the place in the Venom Thicket. And my archers also stayed in place where they are to potentially shoot the Terrorgeist as the Eagles. So very stationary movement phase for Wood Elves. During the magic phase, I was able to successfully get Earthblood off, which allowed me to restore a wound on Durthu temporarily. And subsequently, I was able to irresistibly force get Dwellers off on the night bus, in which case 5 knights died, no characters. And I had the miscast was ignored, and I was able to restore the wound on my mage who was injured from an earlier round as well. During the shooting phase, my archers were able to ding, I think, 3 wounds onto the Terrorgeist, so the Terrorgeist is down to 2 wounds. And during the close combat phase, Durthu was able to finish off the ghoul unit, and now is reformed to face the zombies and the knights and the spirituals.
All right, and we're going into bottom of 4.
And bottom.
Hey everyone, we're a bit tethered to a power cord here, so it's going to be long range. We're at the bottom of 4 for Vampires. Just moved the Spirit Host over to block in Durthu. Sorry about the shaky cam here. To block in Durthu. Terrorgeist moved over to get in range to get a couple wounds back, so he's up to 4 now after the magic phase. My zombies shuffled forward a little bit. Knights scooted over to the left a tiny bit. I need to roll to see how many knights I got back. It'll be all of them anyway. No, I need to roll for that. We'll see how many knights I got back. Yeah, we got another 10 or 8 zombies, something like that. 7 zombies. And we had no combats, so with that, we're going into Wood Elves 5. And a Wood Elves 5, what happened?
Alright, so top of 5 for the Wood Elves. In this phase, nothing really moved. And during the magic phase, we had I think 5 power dice, but the magic phase was shut down because there were 6 power dice. I threw 5 dice initially at Dwellers Below again on the night bus, and which was scrolled.
Yep.
And the rest of the magic phase was shut down, and Throne of Vines was removed from the game with some of Logan's extra dice. During the shooting phase, nothing really came out of that except that Durthu was able to shoot the Spirit Host that had 1 wound remaining. And pretty quick top of turn 5.
All right, going into Vamps 5. All right, bottom of 5 for Vampires. Just shuffled over a little bit. Terrorgeist moved up to try to scream off some of the Glade Guard there. We summoned a ton more zombies. We're up to 50 some now. 20, 40, yeah, somewhere around 60 zombies there. John set up a pretty good charge on him. He might be able to pop the unit, but I'm not too positive on that. Either way, this is going to be a really close game simply because we both have huge amounts of points in 2 units. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. Yep, zombies moved up on the side. Knights shuffled. Terrorgeist moved up a little bit. Zombies are there. And that's it. So we're going into Wood Elves 6. All right, we're here at the end of Wood Elves 6. What happened, John?
All right, so top of 6, we actually did some charges. So the Eternal Guard decided to finally charge the zombies, and Durthu charged the flank of the zombies, and the Eagle charged the Direwolves. Shooting, magic, and shooting, I think we're fairly non-eventful.
1 wound on the Terrorgeist.
1 wound on the Terrorgeist for shooting. And during close combat, we killed a bunch of zombies as expected, but the zombies actually were successful in putting 2 wounds on my level 3 Dark Mage.
Yeah.
And but they lost subsequently to combat res. The Eagle really whiffed against the direwolves, and so it was a drawn combat because the direwolves are actually able to do a wound against the Eagle. So despite that, so we're gonna go to the bottom of 6 here. We'll see what happens.
All right, let's wrap things up. All right, we're here at the end of the game. It's cleaning things up.
Oh, sad end of the game.
Yeah, the last turn was a huge swing. It took it from pretty much a tie, maybe an 11-9, to a reasonable win for Vampires, a 13-7 or so. Won by 414 points. The clutch roll was my Terrorgeist, doing exactly enough wounds to kill Durthu.
Yep.
Rolled 5 wounds.
Durthu was out, had 5 wounds remaining, and you were able to roll a total, you did 5 wounds on Durthu with the Scream. And I had a chance, if I had rolled 1-6 on those 5 wounds, Durthu would be alive at the end of the game. But
didn't happen that
not
way. Yeah. My hero zombies held pretty well. They almost killed the level 3 there, but didn't quite make it. The boss didn't get into combat at all, but having 3 wizards really helped. It kept stuff alive, healed my Terrorgeist back from the brink of death several times. Kept the Wild Riders out of combat too with some free zombies. So what were your thoughts on that game, John?
It's a really fun game. It was nice to run what else was it? Wasn't so dependent on shooting. I had a lot of close combat elements, and it was a real big challenge against VC, because usually my shooting elements work pretty good against VC.
Yeah.
So it was a very fun game. It was very interesting to see the standoff between the Eternal Guard and the Night Bus throughout the game. They never got into grips against each other.
Yeah.
So your Blender Lord didn't get into combat once in this game.
Yeah.
And my Eternal Guard, who I think in the Venom Thicket, you were hesitant to charge them throughout the game.
Yeah, it's tough. I've got a 2-up armor save on the Black Knights, which is pretty good. And the unit has a lot of static combat res. They've got War Banner, BSB, and a couple ranks, and they can do a lot of damage. But against elves that are rerolling to hit against my unit, you've got armor piercing, you've got poison. They can go down pretty quick.
Yeah, I had three spells in my arsenal to increase the strength of the Eternal Guard, and I was hoping to draw you in to eventually start putting a bucket load of strength 4 and strength 5 armor piercing attacks against your Night Bus.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nasty. I figured pretty much from the start with that unit, with the wizards and the BSB in it, it was better to just try to go for a minor win, try to avoid it, chaff it up. And I think it worked pretty well. We got 3 zombies left in there at the end of combat, so gave them 35 points instead of potentially 1,500. So I think that worked out. But overall,
I would hazard a guess that your Terrorgeist VIP of your game.
Oh, absolutely, no question about that.
Flew around. He destroyed on himself. He destroyed the Wild Riders.
Yep.
Durthu. And I think he also got this unit Glayguard to less than half strength.
Yeah, got some half points on there.
Oh, and he also screamed the other unit of scouts off the table.
He did his job.
So the Terrorgeist definitely, I think almost all your points, all the points on my list.
Yeah,
In this game.
so, some cold dice on your side didn't hurt me either. I think you only did maybe a total of 7 wounds on him the entire game.
I think you were able to keep on healing him, which was great.
Exactly.
He had some good magic phases.
Yep.
One other thing is we were playing under ETC comp, so hills block line of sight, which was, I think, very pivotal for protecting your Terrorgeist at the beginning of the game, which is great.
Kept him alive turn 1 for sure.
Yep, and I was very impressed. Durthu, I mean, I don't run treatment a lot, but Durthu seemed, until the bottom of turn 6, he was doing some damage in the game.
He took out a whole unit of ghouls single-handedly, and a spirit host, and a bunch of zombies, so.
Even while he was moving to position himself into combat, he was able to use the shooting attack to max effect and kill spirit hosts and other units. So it was a very close game to right to the very end, so I was glad to play it.
All right, a lot of fun. Good game, John.
Okay, good game, man.
All right, we'll be back with more. Be sure to check out John's event coming up on July 18th, 19th.
July 18th and 19th.
All right, give us a plug here.
All right, we're having the VT GT. It's going to be a Warhammer GT in Bolton, Vermont. So it's a close drive to all you folks in Ontario, Quebec, Northeast US. So we're already you're approaching 40 players. We still have we have a total of 60 slots, so there's still slots available as of today, June 1st. So it's going to be under 8th edition ETC comp. I think we just found out today. It looks like 9th edition is going to start trickling in mid-July. So, but this is going to be a last hurrah for 8th edition, if you will. And so we're going to have free beer. If you register, it's going to be good times. So we already have some of the One Plus Armor crew, some of the Can Hammer people, and a lot of the groups in the Northeast are going to be attending. So it's going to be a really great event.
Yeah, should be a ton of fun. We're looking forward to it. Definitely, I'm going to be there. A couple of the other guys are, barring family commitments and whatnot. But yeah, as John said, Can Hammer will be down too, which means Chris Haynes is going to be drunk, which is always a good time.
It's going to be great. It's going to be some crazy shenanigans that weekend.
Yeah, so be sure to check it out. What's the website for it?
The website is thegreenmountainboys.com. That's with a, as the Canadians say, a Z at the end.
Yeah.
And you can click on the link for the VTGT.
Yeah, and we'll have a link to it in the show notes just down below.
Awesome.
All right,
Hey,
thanks for the game, John.
Thanks for the game, man.
Lots of fun.
All right.
See you again soon.
All right.